Toto Wolff's heart still belongs to Lewis Hamilton. He once again put his favouritism on full display at Imola by swapping his drivers' positions so that Hamilton came out on top. He may have his reasons, but his special relationship with the 7-time world champion is making George Russell lose his faith. Here's how it went down for them. During the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, the Brackley team didn't seem to be keeping up with the top 5 teams in terms of competitiveness. As the race entered its final phase, Russell was in P6, with Hamilton following closely about 3 seconds behind. Russell had successfully held off his teammate for most of the race. At this point, the team had an opportunity for a free pit stop, since Sergio Perez was more than 26 seconds behind Hamilton, allowing him to switch to fresher tyres if needed. Mercedes made the call to pit George Russell instead, causing him to lose his position to his teammate. Russell had been leading Hamilton for most of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix but decided to pit for a second time, unlike Hamilton and most of the grid who stuck to a one-stop strategy. As a result, Russell finished the race in 7th place, just behind the 7-time world champion. Russell managed to recover some of the time lost in the pit lane by the end of the race. Toto Wolff disclosed that Mercedes' tyre wear projections indicated that Russell might not make it to the finish line on the current set of tyres. Given Sergio Perez's aggressive charge for Red Bull, Mercedes saw an opening to keep Russell ahead of Perez and also secure the bonus point for the fastest lap. His lap times were getting slower and slower, and our way of forecast at that time was saying he's not going to make it to the end, and we didn't want to lose the position to Perez, so that was the call, Wolff told Sky Sports. When asked about Russell's request to let him pass later in the race, which the team didn't allow, Wolff mentioned that Hamilton would likely have overtaken Russell regardless. He said, "Well, Lewis Hamilton would have probably taken him anyway, but the point being that, we are racing for P6 and P7, and we just at least wanted to keep the Red Bull behind it, so it was a safety call." Wolff admitted that finishing 6th and 7th was a disappointing outcome for the team, expressing frustration. But he has his hopes up thanks to their commitment to continuous improvement, saying that they are focused on enhancing their car's performance in the upcoming races. "It's not possible to see it in terms of the result, but we have taken a small step forward this weekend," Wolff said after the race. "Our closest competitors have also done so recently, but we have closed the gap to the front a little. We still have a lot of work to do, and of course we are all frustrated finishing P6 and P7. There is more to come though, and it is all about making incremental gains. These are what we need to keep delivering if we are to get ourselves in the fight with the 3 teams ahead of us. With George's second stop, our wear forecasts showed that he may struggle to make it last to the end of the race on the hard tyre. We had the opportunity to pit and get out ahead of Perez, and therefore opted to stop him. That also enabled us to go for the fastest lap point. It cost George a place to Lewis, but ultimately the team was able to score an additional point." Just like his boss, George Russell wasn't too pleased with everything that happened, especially when the team rejected his request to get his position back. He told the media, "You're never going to be happy with 6th and 7th, he said. "At the end of the day, as a team, we scored 1 extra point. I lost my position to Lewis, but I'm not going to sulk over losing 6th, to be honest. This is where we are right now, a little bit in no man's land, behind the Ferraris and McLarens and ahead of the midfield." Russell didn't let himself dwell too much on losing a position in this manner. Although he initially felt like it was a needless loss, he didn't see it as a major setback given that it didn't affect his overall standing in the race in a detrimental way. He added, "As a driver, you want to finish in the highest position possible, and all weekend I'd being ahead of my teammate. I was ahead the whole race comfortably, and then that was sort of just losing the position for the sake of it. So we've got the extra point, but as I said, I'm not going to sulk about it tonight. It's P6. It's not for a podium or victory." Lewis Hamilton agrees with George Russell's no-man's land evaluation regarding the state of the W15. He is frustrated that Mercedes finds themselves in a bit of a rut after another lacklustre performance at Imola. The race's outcome proved that Mercedes isn't quite there with the top teams. Hamilton said, "We got points, that's a positive. We're in the middle of no man's land, but that's a strong finish in general for us. I don't think there was much more to get." But he brushed off any suggestion that he's struggling with the current situation, adding that, "I don't think it's particularly tough, it's where we are, so you just have to do the best you can. And that was the best we could." Despite their optimism about the revised car concept eliminating previous issues, Mercedes has faced challenges with an inconsistent car. This was evident during the race, where Lewis Hamilton finished 35 seconds behind race winner Max Verstappen. Yet despite this setback, the Mercedes team remains positive about the future. George Russell mentioned that they had overcompensated for past difficulties, indicating a proactive approach to address their issues moving forward. Considering everything going on for them, Russell has hope that things can turn around for his team. He talked about the motivation level in the garage, and what he said is music to Mercedes fans' ears. To be honest, everyone is staying super motivated. The morale isn't dropping at all, which is really quite inspiring to see. Everyone is trying to make this work and improve it. Everyone in Brackley and Brixworth are working at full gas right now. That's great to see. We've just got to keep pushing. This weekend, we maximised it. The car was capable of P6 and P7. That's where we qualified and that's where we finished. With updates introduced this weekend and more planned in the pipeline, Wolff is confident that Mercedes is heading in the right direction with its new development approach. He said, "I think that what we are seeing on the car now is that those incremental gains that we are bringing, rather than a miracle update, getting the car in a better balance window and making the car just have more performance. But it's these things where you gain a tenth or a tenth and a half, but at the same time the other teams are making progress. We are on a trajectory where we are making the car better, we can see that. It's never like the share price going up like this, it will do like this. As long as the kind of direction is correct, and I feel more confident now. Mercedes has faced challenges in finding a balance between competitiveness in high-speed and low-speed corners, simultaneously during the early rounds. But Wolff sees this recurring issue as a positive development, noting that understanding the reasons behind their pace deficit is an improvement compared to past seasons. When asked if it was a mistake to chase a magic bullet solution in the past, Wolff said, "Yeah, I think we never had such clear indications like we've had in the last few races, where we really saw that the car was either going really fast in the high speed or in the low speed, but never both of them together. And that's something that we are able now to slowly dial out." Wolff is confident that the stable platform Mercedes has built with the W15 allows them to concentrate on enhancing performance rather than constantly troubleshooting issues. When asked if the team now has the foundational framework to pursue their desired aerodynamic developments to close the gap with Red Bull, Wolff replied, "Yeah, it does. The basis of the car is more conventional in the sense of defining where we want to have downforce and how we want to generate aero efficiency. We pretty much know where this is going, and this is the advantage to, let's say, the 2 years prior." So, is Toto's special Lewis treatment affecting his relationship with George Russell? Where do you see them finishing if this issue isn't taken care of? Tell us in the comment section down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.